Before you do anything, you'll first want to start some rice. I do about 2.5 cups. Then, while the rice is cooking, you'll want to boil your broccoli. I do about 3 pounds and 4 ounces. I usually do until there's a quarter of the bag left. Then what you do is you take I usually do about this much ground meat. I don't know exactly the amount, but you take some ground meat, you season it with any seasoning of your liking. I just usually use Slap Your Mama. That seems about right. So now that our meat is done, our broccoli is cooked, and our rice is cooked, we can now start assembling everything together. You will also need some mozzarella and some more seasoning. You will also need some butter, roughly about this much, or however much you need for the amount of broccoli you make. But I usually like to bury it, let it melt, and then stir it around. But after the butter is melted, you will then add in the ground beef and then the rice. After you incorporate all those things, it should look something like this. Don't worry if it looks crumbly and stuff like that. The cheese is what's gonna bind it all together. Okay. I'm not exactly sure how much cheese to use. I just do it until it's a consistency I like it. So, a lot of cheese. So cheesy. I mean, look at that. I didn't put in all the cheese because I'm going to use some of that for later. But now I'm just going to season it a little bit more to give it a boost of flavor. And then we're just going to mix it all together. We're going to start prepping our rolls or pistolettes that you can get from the store. There is a bag called Pistolettes, but for today we're going to use just some regular store-bought rolls for this time. So, invasion. So, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the ends off like that. Going to make an incision, like a circle all around that. You can trace it out with a knife, or if you're like mine, it's just crumbling, take a spoon or fork and scoop it out like that. Okay, so it's mostly hollowed out like that. Sorry, lighting. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this filling and kind of stuff it in like that. Oh, also, if you don't want this all in the way of what you're doing, you can just take them, put them in there, and use them for something else, or just for a side. But for now, we're just putting it in the bowl. Okay, you're gonna fill it up to about halfway, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some of the mozzarella cheese that we had, and I'm gonna put that in there. Fill in the rest of it, the rest of the way, and like that.